Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Okay, we just arrived. We're excited to be here at the bowl site. Looking forward to a great experience. Questions?
So, like I just asked, difficult getting down here, having a tire blow out. What, 17,000 miles road
Yeah.
trips this year season? It kind of seems almost apropos that you guys kind of had that kind of happen on the way down.
Yeah, we had a 2-hour bus ride. We had a tire blow about halfway through. We had to kind of all put on some other buses, but we made it here okay. It was a lot better than flying a long way, so we're glad to be here.
Gus, after going through the first season in Big 12, what were kind of the biggest challenges that the league presented to you?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's a very quality league. You've got to have quality depth. We had some injuries, really towards the first of the season, but it's a quality league. You got to play really good football. We knew that. Anytime you play, 6 road games, 5 on the conference, and then of course going to Boise State, you got to play good. You got to win close games, and we came up a little short, some of those, but we did finish strong. I won 3 of the last 4, and we're excited to be here at this bowl game.
How did that schedule kind of prepare you for a bowl game like this against
Well, hopefully it prepared us. We play some real quality teams in some great environments. I'd say we're fairly healthy right now, which is good. Obviously John Rice he's getting closer and closer to 100%. And when he's that way, we play really good football.
Gus, how is this Gasparilla Bowl different than where you were 2 years ago, playing Florida and everything, but this one, does it feel different?
We're just 2 hours away. I know it's great for our crowd. We really like playing in this stadium. I don't know how much different. I think it was the first year. I was the head coach. Obviously, it's the 3rd year playing a different opponent, but a very quality opponent in its own right. So, we're excited to be here.
How has practice been this week? How's the team looking? How's all the
Yeah,
players doing?
the practice has been really good. We practiced last weekend. We gave them a couple days off, and then we came back Friday. We've been practicing, I think, 5 days straight, and our guys have done a good job. You can tell the intensity as the game gets closer. Really focused on our opponent. And, we'll have a practice, a Thursday practice tomorrow. We'll have a walkthrough that is really our Friday, which is Thursday. We'll be ready to play, routine-wise.
Gus, do you guys have any? Obviously, this time of year you get a lot of opt-outs at some of these bowl games. Have you guys had any players that
Starter-wise, obviously, Corey Thornton is going to another school. He went in the portal, but for the most part, all of our main pieces are in place, which I think is very important, for a bowl.
You had a lot of other guys that went in the portal as well. Not a lot, but some guys.
Yeah.
Some of the players mentioned yesterday. Some of those guys are on practice field, still practicing. Are those guys available to play, or is that?
Yeah. There's a couple of them. They just wanted to. They've been great teammates, and they've really helped us. Get to this point. A lot of those guys are on the scout team, but they're a part. And a lot of them just want to play more, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. And we're helping them, and they'll do a good job for other teams. But we're in a new age of college football, and our guys have done a super job. And the ones that earn the right that help us get here, they're going to be a part of the bowl experience, and then they'll find other places, to play.
In addition to preparing for the game, you've also had a talk with recruits and potential transfers. Just kind of tell us, what's the past few weeks been like for you?
Yeah, it's really been really interesting. I mean, the first thing is, you get done with your regular season, and you start re-recruiting your own players. We spend a lot of time just making sure that we have our own players, not just for the bowl, but for next year. Then we're recruiting, our high school recruits, and tomorrow's a really big day for that. We're going to sign a great class, one of the best classes, if not the best class in school history, is what we're hoping. Then the transfer portal, just to fill in some needs that we feel like we need next year. So there's a lot of moving parts. Like I said, it's a new age of college football, and you just have to adapt.
Gus, you mentioned that the portal, the timing, and December now has become a really busy time for coaches. Would you be in favor of seeing that portal window maybe moved around or something, maybe to help kind of alleviate some of the stress?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of moving parts, especially trying to get prepared for bowls. It would be good if we could move things around to make it a little more accommodating to finish the season. Give your focus on your team as far as the bowl and everything that's concerned with that.
Coach, we talked to some players yesterday. We're going to talk to more today. Players yesterday, saying they felt motivated, felt like everybody else was still motivated. From your perspective, How motivated are these players to play Gasparilla?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're really motivated. I think it says a lot that, you know, our team's pretty much intact. You know, the bowl games, this day and time, it has a lot to do with who's motivated and who's not motivated. And, you know, that's what we've been talking to our team about, and that's really been the big challenge. But, you know, I think the fact that we only have one of our really main guys not playing the game says a lot.
Gus, you mentioned a minute ago just how this is going to be maybe the best recruiting class you guys have ever had. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I think it's a few things. You know, I think first of all, going to the Big 12, I mean, it's been a game changer for us. And then this is a program that I really believe that a lot of people see on the rise. And all we need to do is get in a big Power 5 conference. We've done that. So the potential, and then everything that goes with it, I think there's a lot of excitement. We're a real attractive, you know, destination for recruits.
How much did you kind of giving up the offensive play calling to free you up for other things? How much do you think that that's helped on recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, is anything that's new with that? I mean, obviously, I'm still involved, and you know, it's just part of being a head coach. There's a lot of moving parts nowadays that you know you're pulled in a lot of different directions. But like I said earlier, you have to adapt.
What do
You mentioned the recruiting. Locally, you've been able to continue to get a lot of local kids from the Orlando area. What's kind of stood out to you about, you know, what the message you've heard from some of those kids, and how important is it to continue to mine that area?
You know, 3 years ago, our goal was to keep our top players at home, and really felt like if we keep our top players at home and make it popular for those guys to stay home, then we'll set up to win championships. And each year we've chipped away, and now it's more and more popular to do that. And you know, that's how we're going to build this thing to win championships. And we're getting closer and closer. And you can see the guys that were hometown heroes. Now they're on the field and they're playing really, really good football and experience a lot of positive things. So it all works together. And like I said, I've recruited this area for a long time. You know, even when I was in my other job, I just know that the great players that are there locally, and you know, that's how we're building it.
What do you know about Georgia Tech?
You know, they're really good on offense. I mean, their quarterback is a guy that actually recruited at my old job. I know that he's an electric type player. They got a lot of speed at receiver position. You know, defensively, they do a lot of good things. You know, we played them last year. We thought when we got done, you know, they were one of the better defenses we played the entire year. So they got some of those guys back, and so you know, it's a good challenge for us. But like I said, we're familiar with them for the fact we played them last year.
With a win, you know, you'll finish the season with a winning record. How big would that be for you guys to finish your inaugural Big 12 season with a winning record?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very important, and not just that, but to get these seniors that meant so much to our program, get them on a positive note, and get momentum, you know, for the off season. So, you know, it's a really important game for us.
You know, the moving forward after the bowl game and everything, what can you take from this first year in the Big 12 that you guys can maybe refocus, look to do in the off season as you get ready for the year two?
Yeah, well, I think anytime you get through with your bowl game from a head coach's standpoint, you evaluate everything, and you know, and what ways can you improve, you know, from year 1 to year 2, and that's really the goal of the head coach. And so I'll be doing that. You know, there's some things obviously depth-wise and certain areas that I think will improve with that. And anytime you go through something for the first time, it's a learning experience. There's no doubt. I mean, you know, there was a lot of really, really physical teams in our conference. You know, a lot of people would look at the Big 12 like, man, just throw it around, all that. But really, it was just the opposite. So it was a learning experience. You know, I know we'll be better, you know, prepared in year 2.
Coach, playing against Ripple 2 years ago, playing USF last year here, and again back for this year. Does being in a familiar place help the team? Does it help everybody being here, being back in the city that you all know pretty well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think anytime you're familiar with things, it's good. And then our fans, you know, they're very familiar with this place. Of course, 2 years ago we packed it out, and I expect our fans to really show up again. So it'll be an exciting, you know, game for our fans and our players. But yeah, it's very comfortable being here.
Tampa's been known as kind of, I know UCF fans have called it the second home, so to speak, lately for UCF. But what is it about this area that maybe you guys have been able to have success? You know,
yeah, well, it's just right down the road. Like I said, we've had success before. Anytime you had success before at a venue, it really helps. You know, when we're recruiting this area really hard, we got some of the players on our team. Obviously, Xavier Townsend, you know, right there leading the list. But you know, this is a very, very important area to recruit for us, and so it all really goes together.
You get a chance, I'm sure, to get some younger guys, some extra practice time from the bowl. Is there anyone that you stood out among the young guys, maybe that
You know, it's a little bit different, like, you know, a few years back, you would have the first part of your practice develop your young guys. Well, because of the portal and some of your guys that wanna go in the portal and transfer and move, you don't have as much opportunity to do that, because your depth has to be ready for the game, and so you're worried about, you know, scrimmaging guys and losing people. So we did work on developing our guys, but it wasn't as intense. It probably has been in the past, because some of those guys are 2s and 3s on your special teams roster in a bowl.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.